Smiley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Friday, December 22nd. So today we have the moon in Taurus all day, and of course that is going to make us very present, very aware of our physical body, of our physical circumstance. We definitely want to be in the here and now, not thinking too much about the future, not thinking too much about the past, and really just doing what provides us a sense of safety, security, happiness, and joy, which tends to be in the smaller details of our lives, really focusing on the little joys of life instead of the bigger, greater, grander picture. This is the last day that Mercury retrograde will be in Capricorn energy. We will see Mercury shift back into Sagittarius energy here tomorrow. There is an astro forecast about this event if you want to take a listen to that. But we are definitely going to have some particular aspects here really open up our mind space, really download us with a new vision, new dream, new goal, new understanding of where it is that we're supposed to go from here. And a lot of that has to do with Mercury and the Sun coming together at this 0 degree in Capricorn energy. Of course, we just shifted into Capricorn season. We're still very much in the solstice energy. We should be feeling a little bit more grounded, a little bit more anchored than the previous weeks. However, Still very much dealing with some triggers, with some activations as we kind of get settled into this particular energy, and of course deal with the swirling energies that of course the solstice gateway has provided us with. So there are 10 different aspects here today, and 6 of them are going to involve the moon. The moon in Taurus energy going to trine with Mercury, who of course is retrograde in this Capricorn energy. This is Earth on Earth, and we love this because a trine means that there is improvement, there is growth, there is healing, there is progress that doesn't require a whole lot of energy and effort on our part. Because the moon is our heart space and Mercury is our head space, our heart and our head are on the same page. Definitely considering the changes that need to be made in our physical realm, really focusing in on what is truly important to us. The moon will then sextile Saturn. Saturn, of course, the lord of karma, ruling over roles, responsibilities, structures, foundations, willpower, discipline. He's in Pisces energy, really challenging us to kind of collapse the old belief system and really conjure up a new vision, new dream on what is actually possible for us if we were just to flip the script and kind of get out of our own way. The moon interacting with Saturn in this way can feel a little bit heavy, a little bit weighted, but this is a sextile. So this means that we are starting to see things from a different set of eyes, from a different emotional standpoint, really understanding where it is that we do have an opportunity to kind of boss up, grow up, be prepared to jump into new karmic contracts. We're not as fearful, not as hesitant as we once were. The moon is then going to make a tough aspect with Mars. Mars is the god of war. He rules over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desires. He's in Sagittarius energy. This is what's giving us a little bit of restlessness, a little bit of ants in our pants, if you will, because we want to take action. We want to make moves, especially on the big ideas that we're having, the big dream that we're conjuring up. But of course, we're not really being supported in doing that at this particular point in time. So instead of, realizing where it is that we're inspired and we're motivated and we're excited to jump into new things, this particular energy is going to highlight where it is that we're frustrated in our lives, where it is that we do have ants in our pants, where it is that there is a little bit of agitation kind of coming up to the surface of our awareness of not knowing what the next move is, not knowing where it is that we want to go from here. So we're definitely kind of sitting in that confusion, sitting in that restlessness. And from those heavier emotions, we should be able to kind of figure out what is most important to us, what area of our life requires more time, more energy, more attention. The moon is going to come up to bump into, team up with Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, and blessings, who is retrograde in this Taurus energy. This is going to be a beautiful energy because it really shows us the amount of growth that we've already been able to kind of tackle, the amount of I'm going to say building within our self-confidence, our self-esteem, really putting us in a situation to value ourselves that much more. Now, this is a positive interaction, which means that we're being downloaded with a new sense of optimism, with a new sense of confidence, really understanding where it is that opportunities are opening up for us to grow, to heal, to repair, and to actually move out in the world and really start creating new opportunities for ourselves in order to rearrange our physical realm and really start piecing together the happy parts. We want to kind of see where it is that our inner realm, the dream and the vision that we have of what would make us happy, what would make us feel safe and secure, where it is that we can go out in the world and start rearranging our lives to start mirroring that back to us. Again, the goal is to create a realm of reality that not only looks good, but that feels good to our soul space. Mars then goes ahead and makes a tough little aspect with Saturn, but it's for our growth. Now let's just put it this way. Mars and Saturn. Saturn wants us to take a low, slow approach to building something new. Mars doesn't want to slow down at all. He wants to act on impulse. He wants to take action, make moves. Whether or not we have a plan put in place, that's besides the point. As far as Mars is concerned, he just wants to kind of, take action, make moves, do something to change things up. But Mr. Saturn, he likes to pump the brakes on that, because without a plan, without a strategy, without a methodical, calculated system that we need to follow in order to exert ourselves and make the changes into our exterior realm, Saturn isn't going to support us in just acting out just for the sake of acting out. However, this particular interaction is good for us because it shows us where it is that we actually have some excitement, some anticipation, if you will, where there are new inspirations and motivations kind of, coming into our awareness on what it is that we want to build, what it is that we want to create. This is the warrior type of spirit, not backing down from the challenge, from the obstacles, if you will, that we are currently realizing that we're going to face while trying to bring new aspects to life in our physical realm. Mercury, ruler of that mental plane, who is retrograde in this Capricorn energy, going to bump into, team up with the Sun, who is fresh in this Capricorn energy as well. What I love about this is that these guys are combust with each other. Any planet that gets this close to the Sun is like being downloaded with a new life force energy, if you will. And Mercury being retrograde in this Capricorn energy, this is going to give us a very small, very unique window into the past. There's going to be an aha moment, an epiphany, a puzzle piece getting thrown at us, if you will, that is going to have a major impact on where it is that we're going from here. So again, we've been talking about this whole, confusion as far as where am I going from here goes. This is the whole back to the future vibe. We have to look back in order to figure out how it is that we're going to move forward. So this is a great time to kind of reprocess some events, some situations, some circumstances, some ideas that we've been tossing around. And this is an absolutely great time to come up with some solutions to some long-term standing problems or issues. This is like a fresh perspective. This is like our minds being opened up to a new level of awareness. And out of this particular energy, we are going to have new ideas. We are going to have downloads. We are going to have visions. We are going to have dreams. And because we're now in Capricorn energy, we actually have the staying power, the perseverance, if you will, that warrior type of energy to kind of see things through no matter how hard they may actually get. So we want to be very careful with what it is that we're saying, what it is that we're speaking into existence, because of course that Capricorn energy being the manifesting energy of the zodiac, what we say or what we write, whatever it is that we're communicating, has a major impact on our future selves. For better, for worse, that remains to be seen. But we do have to be very consciously aware of the words in which we're speaking, the narrative that we're telling ourselves in our inner dialogue, the words, the ideas that we're expressing outside of ourselves, because that is what we will be manifesting. So even though we may not have all the puzzle pieces together right now, all the little bits and details of little bits of clarity that we've been looking for, we do have the bulk of what it is that we need to understand the path, the direction that we will be walking into. Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, and money in the Scorpio energy, is going to be making a positive interaction with Chiron, the wounded healer, who is retrograde in Aries energy. We love this because this is resolving matters of the heart, especially when it comes to relationship dynamics, when it comes to self-worth dynamics, and when it comes to our financial situation as well. Again, in the Scorpio energy that Venus is currently sitting in, we're recognizing what it is that our heart, our soul wants us to pursue. And in that realization, again, we're realizing the fears, the doubts, the old programming, the old conditioning, preventing us from actually going after those particular aspects. But Chiron's involved, which means that there's a huge amount of awareness, huge amount of growth, huge amount of healing and repairment that we are now seeing taking place in our heart space, really coming to a certain point, certain choice point, certain decision point on who and what needs to stay and needs to go, especially as we enter into this new karmic chapter. The moon in Taurus is then going to make a semi-square, little bit of a tension point with Neptune, who happens to be in his place of power in this Pisces energy. Normally, Taurus and Pisces energy work very well together to have a vision, have a dream, have some creativity that we can bring into form. Again, the Pisces energy is that imagination, is that creativity, and Taurus energy brings it into the physical body, brings it to real life here in this materialistic realm. This is a semi-square though, so the problem with this is that we are not willing to think too far ahead, not willing to think too far behind us in the past. The moon in Taurus wants to stay present, wants to be focused on all of the good things, plucking out the silver linings, really just kind of nurturing ourselves into a place of happiness, of safety, of security, of stability. Neptune being in this Pisces energy has us thinking about the future, has us thinking about the past, and the moon in Taurus just doesn't want to go that far, that deep into those particular areas of thought. So this is going to create a tension point. This is going to create conflict because we don't really want to do what Neptune wants us to do, which is to think about the long-term future goals and the long-term past goals that maybe didn't come into fruition. We have Mars and Jupiter coming together in not the nicest type of interaction. This is definitely going to show us where it is that there are a lot of strong impulses for us to take action, for us to make moves. We don't have a plan together, and therefore we cannot take action and exert energy, time, and attention on things that don't make sense to us. This is likely going to stir a lot of, I'm going to say, agitation, frustration in us. Our enthusiasm, our motivation is top notch, but the restlessness, the anxiety, the agitation that we're experiencing because we don't have an outlet for that energy can really put us in some interesting situations. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Don't act on impulse. Don't kind of commit yourselves to things that you probably don't want to commit yourselves to in the future. We have a lot of excess energy. Give your physical body some tasks, some chores that will actually create a better situation, a better environment for you to be working in. The last thing that we have going on here today is the moon in Taurus making a positive interaction with Saturn. This means that we are starting to see where it is that we do have the opportunity to build something new, something fresh, especially in our physical realm where relationships are concerned, where routines are concerned. We're just bringing new ideas to life are concerned. Again, bringing forth new vision, new dreams, and actually sitting with it in our heart space. How does it make us feel? How do you think we could go about building some of these particular aspects in our lives? And where do we have to come up with a plan before we can actually take action?